COVID-19, why you do this to me? I really don't like being stuck in quarantine. I have no toilet paper, I don't even have a snack. Hey, coronavirus, I want my life back. All right, this is start every show from now on. Got my Sick Kids Hospital shirt on. Ready? Yeah! That's as loud as I can get. I need you to whistle, Parker. Just whistle. Just whistle. Okay. Oh, wow! Okay. You know what? I don't care if nobody else does it downtown. I'm doing it. And I'm going to keep doing it as the intro to our show. That is, of course, for 3 reasons. Okay? There's 3 reasons. I'm going to plug in my microphone. Hold on. I got to go back to my little set here. Hold on. All right, I'm going to... There we go. All right. That is done. One is the obvious one. Everyone knows that what we're doing it for is we're doing it for our frontline workers, but we're also doing it for our service workers, and we're doing it for ourselves. Because when I'm yelling out my apartment and somebody else is yelling at a condo and somebody else is yelling at a condo, then there's there's other people here. There's other people here. Welcome back. That was a real train wreck yesterday, wasn't it? It really, really was. And my apologies for everything that went wrong yesterday. Technically, everything that could go wrong went wrong. If I got this on, there we go. So today, I hope that everything is back in order, and I especially have to apologize to my guest, because she was all set yesterday. Dr. Catty Kamkar from CAMH joins me. Hi, Catty. I'm so sorry about yesterday.
Kevin, you're always the best. Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to be here. And today we're really going to be focusing on what happened to me yesterday, because it's also something that happens to a lot of people, is that you try and stay positive, you're trying to be positive, but you have those bad days, and then you start feeling that every day is going to be like that. So knowing that I, first of all, live with depression, okay, and some people don't have depression, but they still have these bad days. What would you say about what happened to me yesterday?
First of all, you would be the best to know what happened to you yesterday, Kevin. What I would say is really for all of us, of course, we're going to have bad days, we're going to have bad moments, and we're going to have a range of negative emotions. The first thing is not to be afraid. To really acknowledge them, not to be afraid, because otherwise it's the... So once we're less afraid, we're able to validate them, we can use our emotions as a cue and to do something about it.
So the emotions are important that we're expressing.
Always. Yeah. So educational. And they tell us more often than not, there is a cue that, there is something going wrong. There is something happening right now. There is a problem. What can I do? It's really focusing on what is it that I have control over? What can I do to be able to problem solve it?
Now, the other thing that I did yesterday was this. Okay. And I want you to do this.
What is it?
I screamed.
Oh, yes, I saw that, Kevin.
I screamed.
Oh, my goodness, you made my day. I really laughed.
But you know what? It felt better.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. And that was such a great and easy practical example that you said, right? So we all know we do need to release our emotions whenever we are able to release our emotions, but in a very kind of healing, mindful way, and we understand what's going on, and of course without harming self, without harming others. There's no destruction of property or anything like that. It can become very healing. And that could be, sometimes it could be screaming, it could be punching a pillow, or sometimes people even find, the boxing, the punching can help us to release, once again, without harming to self or others or in destruction of property.
So we're not being silly then, crying, screaming, yelling, hitting a pillow. It's not being silly, it's not being over emotional.
You know why you even wonder why it might not be silly, Kevin, is that whenever people do it, we do not share. So everyone keeps it private, but it's so common. I would say almost everyone, if not everyone, is doing it. But we do not go around and say, by the way, I opened my window and I was screaming. I punched the pillow. We don't share that information, even though almost everyone, if not everyone, does it. So not at all.
Okay. I want to address a question that I just had come across here. Let me see. Someone said, Carol, apparently I am being kind of rude at home and I don't see it at all. First of all, the fact that you recognize it, Carol, I think that speaks, or at least you recognize it's possible. That at least you're open to that. So there might be people who are being told, hey, why are you being so hard on me? Why are you being so tough? But you don't feel you are.
I found it so lovely that the fact that, she's even telling all of us, right? So kudos to you for doing that. What I would love to look is that why is it that they're saying that? Because sometimes we do go through difficulties and we might not necessarily be aware of it, and often it could be more maybe noticeable to others. But I would look at what it is. I mean, sometimes, once again, because again, most are feeling isolated, they also have to juggle everything all at once. It could be childcare, it could be support for elder care, it could be home, it could be cleaning, cooking, and all of those things. So when we feel overwhelmed, and sometimes it could lead to a burnout, and yeah, it could be that the short fuse might kick in. There was a funny cartoon that I saw the other day, and there was a little guy in the cartoon opening the closet door and say, oh, I found mommy there. So again, I would want to look at what are the sources to be able to once again problem solving and prioritize and delegating tasks as well.
So I was really upset with myself that I had such a bad day yesterday. And I guess we get that way. And you kept telling me, Kevin, it's okay, it's okay. So here's what I did today, Caddy, and I want to share with you what I did. I first of all, let me just move this graphic here. By the way, you'll notice that I've put the numbers for crisis counselors and hotlines on here. I think it's really important because although we can talk and Caddy's here, you know your own emotions and your own mental state. So if you need help, reach out and get professional help. And by going to one of these crisis responders is one of the best things you can do. So please pay attention to these numbers up here. So I got up this morning, and quite often I will sit in my bed and I will sit and I'll play on my phone and I'll sit and I'll just say, oh, you know what, it's okay. But today I got up, forced myself to get up. I had a good, healthy breakfast, which I had been sort of neglecting over the last little bit. Got myself all ready. I meditated, which I had been putting off the last couple of days. Then I went for a nice long walk. And I'll tell you, everything together really made me feel a lot better.
You know what? You're mentioning here some of the most basic things that we more often than not, again, tend to ignore and underestimate. Healthy diet, eating first thing in the morning to recharge our fuel and to have the energy, and then also intense exercise. So important for our body to function. And when I say for our body, it's really around our immune system, our mental health, and our physical health. So very much kudos to you, Kevin, for doing that. And that's pretty much also that we all need to do. What was interesting is also when you mentioned in the morning, we do have sometimes this tendency in the morning to procrastinate. Could be checking this and checking that. But it is as soon as we get up to wake up, to get off the bed and starting doing the 1, 2, 3 that you have done.
Okay, now people have been through past traumas too. I mean, I've got here Jennifer. I guess what happened is she went through the fires in Fort McMurray as well. I feel stressed. Went through tough times living through the fires in Fort McMurray. Yes. Now this sometimes I feel like I want to just never wake up. Oh, I'm sorry. I put a box right over your face. I'm sorry. Let me move. Let me move that. Okay, sorry. So yeah, there's that feeling of desperation out there, isn't there?
It becomes very difficult. Certainly, we all know that this is a very challenging, difficult times. And it can also carry a lot of resemblance, right, with previous traumas. What I would say here is that if it becomes more and more difficult to really even wanting to wake up in the morning, seeking quality support among loved ones, very helpful. But then also there's a lot of professional help out there as well.
Oh, I'm losing you just for 1 second. Hold on, Caddy. Hold on one second. We're just going to wait until your Skype signal catches up a bit. Okay, continue. I didn't want anyone to miss anything. Let's see it.
Yes, I would say that, whenever it becomes very difficult, I mean, of course, we are going to have sometimes days that it's difficult to want to wake up and we might feel more kind of this helpless or hopeless. But if we feel that it is like this more often than not, more mornings or more days than not, seeking quality support among loved ones and friends and family every day, very important. But and also not being shy about seeking professional help. We have great treatment available. We have great support available. And the thing is that whenever people seek help, often they say, wow, it wasn't as bad as I thought. So there is Center for Addiction and Mental Health, there is Ontario Psychological Association. We are all in this together.
Yeah, Deanne, I believe it's Deanne, and I'm sorry, it's either that or Dean. I had a bad day yesterday too, missing my kids and family for the first time during this crisis. I just cried or felt like crying all day. At the end of the day, I went for a long walk alone, and it really did help me.
Kudos to her. She did the right thing. And of course, the crying normalizes.
Oh, we're losing you again. I'm sorry.
And at the same time, realizing.
Sorry, folks. I think we've got a particularly bad line into Caddy's neighborhood today. So try it again. Try it again, Caddy. Continue.
Is it working?
Oh, hold on. It's frozen again. Hold on. Let's try it again. All right. Go ahead.
So it is, she very much did the right thing. And of course, normalizing emotions. You want to cry. And at the same time, we realize that, you know what, I can cry and at the same time engage in meaningful and healthy, productive activities. It could be cleaning, it could be cooking, it could be going out for a walk, it could be taking showers. So very much kudos to her for having done that.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we have to do is we actually have to recognize when something is wrong. Sometimes that's the trick, and you don't recognize it until it's too late. One of the things that I've been reading and learning is that the time to deal with stress and anxiety is the second you feel it, rather than just sort of having that weird feeling for a while and you don't know what it is. So recognizing it is a lot of the battle.
You're so right, Kevin, and I'm glad that you're mentioning that. There was actually a systematic review in 2015, and what they saw that in addition to all the, what they call the structural, the attitude, the other types of stigma that exist and so on, they found that not recognizing that help is needed was one of the major barriers. So you're right, as we always notice that other people might notice before us. So recognizing and becoming self-aware, and as you mentioned, the earlier the better. So I will always say to everyone, it's before the cycle is even onset. But if the cycle is there, the sooner we are able to get out of it, of course, it gets easier. But it gets easier and faster and more practical and definitely easier over time.
Okay. We're talking to Dr. Caddy Kamkar from CAMH, and we're getting some great advice here. And I think it's Terrence. I want to go back. Terrence, basically a very simple comment. I want to cry. And you're not alone. And you're definitely not alone. I think a lot of people are starting to discover that here as well. So, Caddy, we talked about crying. We talked about screaming. Hold on. I'm going to run my scream again. Hold on. Hold on.
And I want you to do this.
Okay. So, Caddy, how do we make sure that we're not going overboard, that we're not crying and constantly crying? Because I think we see ourselves as a failure if we're giving up and we're crying. I guess what I'm saying is, how do you cry properly?
So again, as part of self-kindness and self-compassion, we want to normalize the emotions, and we do not want to judge ourselves, right? So we want to cry, But as we said, so crying is very much verbalizing an emotion. So we want to detect what the emotion is. So sometimes the emotion could be, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, I cannot stand what's going on, or I'm sad and I just want to cry. But sometimes, so that's very normal. We can all do this. But sometimes the crying, especially if it's every single day, and in addition to others very negative emotions chronically going on, it might be tapping maybe into a phase of clinical depression. So in addition to crying, if you feel that you're sad more days than not, there's this what we call the anhedonia, so reduced interest in your activities. You're not able to initiate activities. The energy is low. There's a disruption in your everyday responsibilities, and you're not even able to engage in. Professional help would be very helpful here.
This is very nice here. We had these people on last week, I believe, the Good Neighbor Project, but Tammy is with Good Neighbors. Did a pickup and delivery for a lady today. Was major, but I felt so good afterwards. Her young child peeked her head out the door to yell, "Thank you." Wasn't up to doing it, but so fulfilled after that. So it's the thank yous. I did something today. There was a bunch of people working. There was only one wine store open in all of Toronto today, I thought. Wine Rack down, it's in the Village. And I went in, and these people are working, and I went across the street, got them a pizza, and brought it back. And I said, this is for you guys, because I know you have to work, and I know you're getting paid for it, but you know what? You're taking more risks than we are. So maybe if we thank people too, we might feel that much better.
That is so lovely.
Hold on. I'm going to ask you to stop again, Caddy.
With what you did today.
Hold on. I'm just going to wait until every once in a while we get these ripples through Skype, and I would hate for anyone to miss what you are saying. So I think I'm going to give it another try. Go ahead. So thanking people.
Love all the examples. And when we say about seeking quality support and seeking support, it's also around receiving support, but in helping others as well. We all know whenever we help others or contribute to any type of help, including to organizations, it does provide tremendous amount of satisfaction and becomes very healing.
Okay.
These are great examples. Absolutely.
We are now, and I'm realizing this, we're now about a month into this.
Really?
You know what? This is episode 24, and I started a few days after the isolation. Almost a week.
That's true.
True. So now, where are we in the grieving process? Because we've been talking about this off and on. We've been talking about this off and on about how we go through grieving. We're grieving the way our lifestyle was before this. We're grieving not doing our regular things every day. So now we're a month into it. We don't know when it's going to end. What are we feeling now? Does it almost become, oh, what's the use, or I'm ready to give up, or anything like that? What are we feeling?
However we are feeling in all the stages of grief, we can always go back and forth. So there's no specific order. That's for sure. We do know that. I think that however we are feeling, we can definitely feel the same way. But in addition, it could be other feelings as well. So as you said, it could be feeling hopeless. So whatever I'm going to do doesn't matter. Nothing will change. Or feeling helpless. I'm becoming more powerless. I don't have control over anything. Or sometimes it can be maybe a sort of an adjustment, like, okay, and now I feel maybe more comfortable at home. I know that I have to do my exercise 1 hour a day or maybe 20 minutes a day. So sometimes a little tips and practice, like a little adjustment might set in place. But you're right, there's a lot of uncertainty coming ahead. But thank you for that, Kevin, in terms of having your ongoing, live series going on, because I think it's a great way for all of us to connect and to share how we are feeling and doing.
This is sanity for me. This has kept me. I do this completely for selfish reasons. It's just you know what? It gives me purpose in a day. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have this show. Yeah. So, Caddy, I'm just gonna wrap up with you here. I'm gonna continue talking with some of the people out there, but I want you to sort of send out some final words of encouragement. We're a month in right now. It seems like it's never going to end. We may be driven crazy by people in the house. So what advice could you give to people right now?
So I would say, remember that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It will end. So we need to remember that. We also need to remember that we are not alone, and also we will get stronger after that. There will be a sense of strength and psychological and personal growth from that, and we will be able to see how we navigated through this difficult process, and later on it will help us throughout our life.
All right, Dr. Kati Kamkar, always a pleasure. And we'll have you on again soon, very soon. I hope you'll come back on.
Always. Thank you so much, Kevin, and be safe.
I will. Thank you. Dr. Kati Kamkar talking to us once again, and fantastic. So we are, that hit me. I'm just going to move this box here. Hold on. This is important, so let me just actually expand it just a bit and bring it down. Well, no, I don't want to cover the sick kids, do I? There we go. Can you see that? There we are. These are important numbers, so I want to make sure that they're seen. I realized that today that we are about a month into this. So we go through, and while she says that and we've always heard from TV that the stages of grief, the denial, et cetera, come in an order. Well, like she says, there's no real order. Sometimes you skip one, go back, forth, things like that. But we, so we get the isolation. At first, it's a little bit of fear, and it's different. And it's in some cases even relaxing because you're not having to get up and go to work. Well, we're now a month in. And I don't know about you, but when I have a vacation that's more than 2 weeks, I become lethargic and sore, and I'm tired of it. So we're in that point, but there's nothing we can do about it. So the tendency sometimes is to get angry or to get upset. I can tell you, yesterday I wanted to sit down and cry the way everything seemed to be going wrong at the same time. And then I realized that I froze. I just froze there for a second. I realized that it just seemed that maybe I was helping to manifest some of the things going wrong, because one thing would go wrong and I'd say, oh, that's horrible. My life is terrible. Oh, and something else went wrong. Oh, my life is terrible. But yeah, instead of sort of taking it and just taking it for what it was, and that was something that went wrong. So I decided today, while I was walking, while I was out there walking, that was Dr. Kati Kamkar just saying goodbye. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna take this, and this sounds very cliche. And maybe you could try using it. I'm just gonna take this one day at a time. I'm going to get up tomorrow morning, and I am going to try and repeat this, not the exact same things, but I'm going to try and just keep on doing things like a healthy breakfast, like eating right, like exercising, like having a good attitude. And when something comes along and hits me, I'm just going to go, okay, I'm going to move on. That's all we can do. And I know that a lot of you are feeling exactly the same way. You've told me about that. And especially for people, here's Sally. I live alone. I find it hard to fill my days. Yeah. So this is, okay, let's address Sally right now, okay? Because whether or not you live alone, sometimes it's hard filling your days. So I have given some ideas here for filling your days. Getting up, making your bed, healthy eating, if you can, doing some exercise, things like that. Okay, I need some other ideas. To fill your day that people may not have thought about. I mean, you can only clean so much, right? Keep on keeping on. Thank you, Donna. I like that. That's very 70s. So I'd like to hear some ideas about filling your days with things to do. Journaling is always good. Writing down how you feel. I'm not very good. A hobby, yes, says Heather. Why not pick up a hobby? And a hobby does not mean that you have to have something physical. There are so many different hobbies that you can take up. I seem to be cleaning so much, LOL. I paint, says Carol. Reading. Listen to relaxing music. I was never much one for music, but I kind of been getting into Spotify lately. I really have. Knitting and crafting. Oh, I am living with stage 4 cancer, says Yvonne. My motto is one day at a time. Yeah, that is a very big motto with cancer patients. And Yvonne, God bless you. Our thoughts are with you. Here we are complaining about getting basically bored. And here you are with stage 4 cancer. So our thoughts are with you, and one day at a time. If anyone can teach us a lesson, thank you very much. Jigsaw puzzles. I do jigsaw puzzles on my phone. I do enjoy that. I like that. I couldn't do them. Physically. I get, there, it fit. Yes, one day at a time, one foot in front of the other, keep moving. Patricia's saying, I stress how much your program is helping. I hope it's helping. I really do. As much as I say this program is more for me, no, I really am concerned about everybody, about all of you. So I hope it's helping some people. Looking at old memories, and you know what? That's a really good one, Carmen, because I'm thinking, looking at old memories, how long have you been wanting to organize all those pictures, especially now, right? Before they were all in a drawer in a box and you could organize them, but now you have thousands, don't you? So why not go through them and start deleting them, first of all? That's what I did with a lot of my vacation pictures, is how many pictures of sunsets can you have? I mean, sunsets are beautiful, but I deleted them all because, but I'm not in them. My family isn't in them. But then I started naming the files, start grouping them. So that's a really good idea as well. The pictures. Reread some favorite books. Here's Roberta. My favorite two sayings for these unprecedented times are, "This too shall pass," and "When you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control how you respond to what's happening. That's where the power is." Let's think about that for a moment. When you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control how you respond to what's happening. That is really good. Because what she's not saying, when you can't control what's happening, control what you can, which is what I've been saying. She's saying, challenge yourself to control your reaction to it. That's really good. That's an important difference, a very important difference. Yeah, it gets boring, can only clean so much, says Thelma. Canvas paintings, puzzles, watercolor puzzles, cooking, rotate check-in calls. Yeah, go through your contacts books and see who you haven't talked to in a while. How is everybody doing? How are you doing? It's that roller coaster. How are you doing? And if you are having serious problems that you can't seem to get a handle on, I need you to reach out. I need you to reach out to someone. I don't need you just to watch me and say, okay, good. I watch Kevin and I feel a little, I hope you feel better. But if you're really having something that you can't overcome, then really look at first of all, if you're in crisis, and when I'm talking about crisis, I'm talking about you're worried you're going to do harm to yourself or someone is going to do harm to you. And I don't care what age you are. These are the numbers right here. So I want you to reach out if you have to. It may take a while to get them because they are so overwhelmed. They are so overwhelmed. And then you hear all about these people. We had a march in Vancouver of people they're saying we have to reopen the economy. And especially for my American viewers as well. I know it can get so trying to be living in the United States right now because you're getting conflicting messages. You are subjected, I think, to more misinformation than anywhere else on this planet. And I'm including any communist country. I just think the misinformation there is wild. So to our American cousins, our thoughts and prayers go with you because you're just as hurt and you're just as scared as anybody else. So hang in there. Hope you come visit us once this is all over. Hope you're okay, Kelly. This is so great. Everyone is reaching out to each other. And that's what it means to reach out, right? Riding the waves, definitely. Waking up at 4 a.m. and I can't go back to sleep. Yes. Okay, so I kept promising we're going to have that sleep expert back on. I'm going to get in touch with her. Maybe tonight I'll send her an email. And we're going to have her back on this week. We need to talk about sleep again. So not just about preparing your bed and having a comfortable place, but we need to talk about getting to sleep, staying asleep. And then if you wake up, the question is, right, you have that question. I'm up now, it's 4 o'clock, I may as well get up. Or should you? And should you be lying there if you can't fall asleep? I've heard both sides. I've heard, hey, it's okay, you're still getting rest. Others say, no, you're frustrating yourself. So get out. There we go. Now, Connie, these things sound great, but they're just words. It doesn't change what you feel inside. I so miss my family, and words don't help. I know I'm not alone in how I feel, and I'll hang on, but gee, it's tough. Yeah, those are true words, Connie. You're right. Lip service only goes so far, right? It really does. And yes, these are words, but they are words in some cases to actions you can take. Connie, I hope at least some of the words will land and will resonate with you. And I understand that you miss people and you're feeling alone and that you're down. You have to be your own mental health advocate. No one's going to do it for you. We can help. Everyone loves to help, and we don't want to see you hurt. But in the end, the only person on this planet who decides whether or not you are going to be in a good mood or a bad mood, the one person is you. It is. And yes, I know these are just words. I hope you take some of the words and choose to act on them. Not all of them. And yeah, it's very easy to say, you know what, breathe, relax, this too shall pass. Yes, these are all words. But the meaning behind them and the emotions behind them. Connie, reach out. I reach out to whoever you can reach out to. Let me see. Trying to use Windows 10. Is this going somewhere? This is Dottie. I'm trying to get to use Windows 10. Had it 2 months. Not too inspired to concentrate on it. I just try a wee bit at a time. No hurry. Won't be going anywhere for a long time. I feel caged. Yeah, we are feeling caged. I don't see the people in the building where I live. It's like a ghost building. I miss seeing the people. They're scared to leave their apartments. It's a seniors building. Oh my, I love to sleep. Like I said the other day, I put notes in all of my neighbors' doors, and I just simply said, "I'm here. Here's my email." Yeah, behind all these closed doors, there are other people just like us, right? Let me see. Come back tomorrow, Mike says. Connie, and that's very true. Connie, if there's one time during the day that it takes just to reach out to someone or have people reach out to you, and this is it, then so be it. It was a sad day today in my small town of Fenelon Falls. One of the small businesses announced they were closing as they couldn't afford to keep going. Yeah, that's going to be tough, and if you're a small business owner, you're facing that as well. I think we're going to have to make a general call out to big business and to landlords and to corporate Canada and corporate America. We're going to have to start to think, how can we be more forgiving? Yes, okay, landlord right now is yelling at me. I know that. How am I supposed to survive if I'm not getting rent? Okay, I understand. We have to be there for each other. So these are not normal times, right? These are not normal times. So yes, corporations are saying we have to make money or else our investors get mad. Well, who are the investors? When it comes right down to it, when it comes right down to the end of it, we're all the investors. So we need to get through to corporate America and corporate Canada and say, listen, we need to tone it down. We need return on our investment. That's great, but you're going to kill people. You're going to kill businesses. You're going to make it tough for landlords to be able to forgive rents. So whatever we can do to forgive loans, or at least say, let's put them on hold. If you're in a position to do that, please, you would be changing not just one life, but many, many lives. Friend has decided to retire. COVID has shut down his business. I hope he's doing it under good terms, though, as far as he's ready to retire or she's ready to retire. We have to help each other, absolutely. Sadly, quite a few businesses won't be able to come up. Yes, I'm not trying to hide any truths from you. I've always told you from day one, we're going to try and keep positive. We're going to try and come out of this with a smile. But yeah, the fact of the matter is some small businesses are going to close. Let's hope that in the vacuum that follows, that some other businesses thrive, that new businesses open up. I'm hoping. I heard some good news, though, that, and everybody is saying touch wood, that Ontario seems to be, if not flattening the curve, bending the curve. So we don't want to speak too soon. We don't want to give false hope. But there are some glimmers, as Caddy had said earlier, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are some glimmers right now. I've been reading that Ontario and Canada is seeing, we're pulling that curve, right? We're pulling that curve down, and this is not a time to relax either. So we can't reopen the economy. I'm sorry. We can't stop isolation. If we do, right back up. And we've already seen that happen in different jurisdictions. I know people are talking about herd immunity. Who was it? Was it Sweden? Was it Sweden, or I think it was. No, it was Sweden who didn't close anything, and they said they were trying to get herd immunity. I think it was. Well, they're finding it's not working the way it should have been. So we're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. It's tough, but there's now some light at the end of the tunnel. I was also thinking maybe. Now, we've all been saying that we hope that this friendliness that we have towards seeing each other when we are in the grocery store or something, everybody seems to be much more friendlier because we're all in the same boat, right? We're hoping it continues. One thing that really got me to thinking is, do you think maybe we finally learned a lesson? Do you think finally that when we said, we didn't learn a lesson in SARS, we're right back here, but maybe is this the time that we hope history doesn't repeat itself? That maybe if this ever happens again, that we'll immediately react? I'm hoping so. Okay, another few comments, and then I'm going to, and please don't speculate. Thelma is saying, and sorry, I'm not going to take a shot at Thelma at all. Everyone's trying to speculating, saying I'm saying it's going to be this many days. Don't even try and guess, okay? And don't even share that. What is that?
The 28 days was an extension from the emergency order.
Oh, I am sorry. I'm only seeing a portion of that. Parker just clarified. Okay, so you feel we've been in isolation for about 28 days since the emergency order.
They're extending it 28 more days.
Oh, they're extending it 28. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Okay, totally misunderstanding. That's why Parker's here, to keep me honest. But as I was saying, though, don't try and guess at anything, and don't try and give out those wild conspiracy theories, and don't forward them from your timeline. All it is just spreads panic, fear, and misinformation. Make sure anything you are forwarding is factual from a credible source. And there are people whose jobs it is to make up this information and to rile you up, whether or not it's from left-wing organizations or right-wing organizations. When it comes right down to it, they're both equally as bad sometimes. So a lot of people have an agenda for putting fake information out there. Don't fall into that trap. Listen to reputable information, and don't listen all day. Listen once or twice a day. That's it. So positive thoughts. Now, Donna, I was just about to do that. And you're right. Positive thoughts, and that's how I want to end this off tonight. I want everybody to see that light at the end of the tunnel. I want everybody to know we have gone through this now. We're in the thick of it. Yep. We have gone through it, and we have gone through it together. We have survived, and we are surviving. We are doing something for each other by isolating, not just for ourselves. I congratulate you for that. You should feel good about that. Feel good about yourself. Feel good that through all the trials and tribulations, that thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of people are still alive because of what you're doing. Okay? And take solace in that fact. We're going to get through it, and yeah, there's going to be some tough times on the other side. We're going to go through that together too. We're not going to abandon each other. Promise me you won't. We're not going to abandon each other. We're not going to say, oh, well, her small business closed down, so nothing I can do. No, we're going to help everybody afterwards. We're here now, and we're going to be here after. So a special thank you to all of our frontline workers, our frontline healthcare workers. A special thank you to our first responders. By the way, this is something that really needs to be remedied, and that is EMS workers who are working part-time do not get medical coverage. That's a sin and a shame and needs to be fixed. We're asking them to go out to someone who says, I think I have COVID, and I need you to pick me up, and I need you to put me on a stretcher, and I need you to bring me to a hospital. However, we're not going to be there for you afterwards if you happen to catch it. So that's one thing. So whatever you can do to pressure any government services or anything like that, that would be wonderful. So let's finish on a positive note. Let's everybody, every single person out there. First of all, we can do this.
Okay? And I want you to do this. Ooh, that felt good.
It was. It felt very good. Your neighbors will understand. Your neighbors will understand. But I want everybody to take a breath. I want you to try smiling. Try smiling. Try a little meditation. And meditation isn't that difficult, but if you don't want to do that, just sit there, close your eyes, and just listen to your breath for 1 minute. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do every day. If you did that every day, it would make a huge difference. So tonight, it's been tough. I want you to feel, wow, okay, I've ridden out a lot of the storm. We've ridden out a good portion of the storm. And let's start thinking about what we're going to do afterwards. How have we changed? How are we going to take care of each other? And we need to start talking about how we're going to take care of each other when this is over, because there's going to be some people who need help. So we need to be there for each other. I hope you have a great evening. I hope tomorrow morning you force yourself to get out of bed and make a healthy breakfast and go for a walk. Stay away from people, social distance, but it did a world of good for me today. Go out and see the sunshine. I think it's supposed to be nice tomorrow. What's the forecast tomorrow? Hold on 1 second. Did anybody get snow today? I know we didn't. It wasn't that bad today here downtown. The forecast for tomorrow, at least for Toronto, is 2 degrees in the morning. Tuesday, 6 degrees, mix of sun and cloud. That's not bad. That's not bad. Are we looking? Is there any chance of double digits? Well, not for a while, but we're still into April. I want everybody to have a great night. I want you to do something good for yourself. I want you to take a breath and try every once in a while to just let that stress go off your shoulders. Just don't carry that stress constantly. So as usual, here, let me move this box here. Hold on. Don't forget these numbers, by the way. If you do need help, if you need to get in touch with me, firstaidforyourmentalhealth@gmail.com. Oh, I feel like I'm back on the news by having this little box here. Hold on, let me just... And then you'd sit here like this. Like that. There we go. Yeah. Do your own news at home. So that's it. I'm starting to ramble now. Time to go pour myself a nice glass of wine. And we'll see you tomorrow. So until then, take care of yourself and take care of each other.